It's my week 4 picks, and I do apologize for not coming out with my week 3 picks because I guess I was sad because of week 2 I went 7-9. I was hurting inside, but week 3 I bounced back lovely. I had a 13-3 record. Let's check it out real quick. Boom. Let's check it out, my record. So you will see. Look at that, 13-3. And then week 2, 7-9. Man, look at all these losses I had in week 2. It was hurting, but nice bounce back. And as you know, if you watched these videos before, I'm in GetWittedSports2 Pick'em League, which features 33 players, and I am ranked, I think, in the top 6 now, or 7th in the league right here. Boom, with a 30-18 record. First place has 35 wins and 13 losses. So I'm 5 games back right now, and I'm tied with 4 other people. But let's get to the picks. If I can get back to it, there we go. And tonight, we got the Giants at Washington. And I actually have some FanDuel money on this tonight. Oh, who am I going with? The Giants have been getting better every single week. The Redskins offense has been very good with Kirk Cousins leading the way. I'm going with the Redskins because I think Alfred Morris is going to be the difference. The Green Bay, do I really believe they're going to start the season 1-3? I can't see that happening. But the Bears are playing at home. Oh, man. And it's not like they have been stellar themselves. The Jets helped them out in the first half last week. Maybe I'm a little biased because I'm a Jets fan. And the week before that, they were looking like doo-doo until Jay Cutler manned up in the fourth quarter and threw those touchdowns. But the Green Bay Packers, their offense hasn't been clicking. I'm going with, I just can't see it. I just cannot see the Green Bay Packers starting the season 1-3. Aaron Rodgers, come on, that's my boy. You got to believe in him and believe in that offense, and it's going to get going. And the Bears defense, they're better this year, but they're not great. Okay, so I think this is the right time for the Green Bay Packers to get a big win, a road win, and that's the part of the season to start clicking. Tennessee at Colts, come on, Andrew Luck. This one I actually have an upset because I know the Raiders have looked like Basuta. They probably look like the second worst team behind the Jacksonville Jaguars, but for some reason, I don't know why. Maybe I think Derek Carr is going to have a big game with Run DMC, and they're going to upset, and they're at home, the Dolphins. I'm not saying the Dolphins are bad. I just think the Oakland Raiders are going to surprise them with their running game. Yes, come on. I'm not going to pick against my Jets, even though I think the Lions are a playoff team this year. Matthew Stafford, I'm still not seeing the progression that I would like to see from him in, year 6? It's like ridiculous, man. Come on, you got to be more consistent with your game. You have all that talent around you. You have all that talent, and you have an offensive guy with you in Jim Caldwell. You got to put it together. But I can't pick against my Jets. My Jets, come on. Pittsburgh versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who look like, did you see? You saw that game versus the Falcons. And if you haven't watched any Jaguars games, you probably think the Buccaneers are the worst team in football. But I guess I get them by having them as the third worst behind Jacksonville and the Raiders. Even though the Raiders, a lot of people thought they were going to be competitive. So did I. I thought they were going to be competitive. I didn't think they were going to make a playoff push, but I thought they were going to show more than what they've been showing lately. I think towards the end of the year, the Raiders are going to get a little bit better, and I see them getting a win, not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be a fun game. Steve Smith playing against the Carolina. I wish he was at Carolina so Steve Smith can receive some love, and he's been leading the Baltimore Ravens in receptions and yards and all that. This is going to be a big physical game, a fun game to watch, and I think the Panthers are legit. And I also thought this is just going to be a fun game. This is going to be one of my favorite matchups of the week. Man, I don't know who to pick here. Calvin Benjamin, he's been big for them too, the Panthers. The Ravens, man. I'm going with the Panthers. Even though the Ravens are at home. Buffalo's showing some spunk this year. So are the Texans. They're at home. I think Foster, if he plays, is going to have a big game. I'm going with the Texans. San Diego over the Jaguars. Come on. Yeah, who's going to pick the Jaguars? Even though Blake Bortles is playing. I think he's going to spark that offense. I even picked him up in my fantasy league. So you play fantasy, there goes a little fantasy advice right there. Pick up Blake Bortles if you need a backup quarterback or something. I'm not saying he's going to light it up, but I think he's definitely going to put up some nice little points of fantasy, and he's going to spark that offense over there in Jacksonville. Matt Ryan, I know another guy's making a start, Teddy Bridgewater, who I also think is going to help out that offense, but it's not going to be enough for that Atlanta Falcons, air. Julio Jones, Roddy White, even Douglas. It's just too much. It's not going to happen. Like I said, the next game, Eagles versus 49ers. The 49ers, what did they say? They haven't scored a touchdown in the second half this year, or just haven't been making adjustments. They're just in a flux right now. I said it before the year started. If you watch Red Zone Blitz with me and David, that I don't believe they were going to make the playoffs. And I'm going to continue with that trend. But the Eagles have been in a war for all 3 games. And when is it going to catch up to them? When is it going to catch up to them? And for some reason, I think it's going to be this week. It catches up to them. They lose the Eagles. Dallas, you know what? I was never a believer in the Dallas this year because of their defense and their coaching. But you know what? I'm going to give Jason Garrett some credit. He's gone to DeMarco Murray. They've made him to more of a running team, taking off the pressure off of Tony Romo and their defense. Because if you run the ball, you control the clock, and you don't have to have that terrible defense on the field. So they deserve a lot of credit. This is going to be another fun game to watch. But come on, I'm going with the Saints because I'm going with Drew Brees. And this is another offense like the Packers that hasn't got it going just yet. I think this is the week and the perfect time to shine a little bit. Yeah. I haven't heard Jamal Charles, if he's going to play or not. And if you know me, I am not a believer in Alex Smith. Like I said, if you're asking him to win a game for you, he's not going to win the fucking game for you. And especially versus New England. But speaking about, not performing well a second ago, Tom Brady hasn't been himself so far. His stats definitely haven't shown that. I don't know because it's the weak offensive line right there in New England. It just hasn't been them. And it just hasn't been him or his typical numbers. But the Kansas City defense is soft. Their offense is basura. I've been speaking a lot of Spanish this episode for some reason. But, yeah, I'm going with Tom Brady. Here the tiebreakers. Let's go with Tom Brady. Let's give Tom Brady 24 points. Kansas City Chiefs 17. This is gonna be a fun game. This is probably my second favorite game to watch this week is Saints versus Dallas behind the Baltimore and Panthers game. But you're speaking about that game, Le'Veon Bell ran all over them. And I was thinking about fantasy for a second. I'm changing the subject here. The top 3 running backs, Adrian Peterson, LaShawn McCoy, Jamal Charles, probably the top 3 running backs consensus in fantasy football so far have been busts. Okay, I have McCoy on one of my fantasy teams, and the man hasn't played like one, but none of these 3 guys, AP in his situation, Jamal Charles' health, and LaShawn McCoy. I won't say struggles, but the offense, the way it's gearing towards, it seems like more of a passing team is taking effect. Man, Le'Veon Bell looks like the deserving fantasy running back champ right now. But anyway, let's go with the score here. I was about to put 54 points, but I'm not going to go that ridiculous. Let's go with 34-31. That should be a fun game. Who's going to score the most points this week? Maybe I should go with Atlanta again, but no, I'm not. Okay, who's Jacksonville facing? San Diego. Let's just go with San Diego because that's what I look for. I really don't care for these tiebreakers. Who's going to score the least amount of points this week? Oh, who's playing a tough team? Let's go with Miami. Even though I don't know why I'm picking Miami. It's not like the Oakland Raiders have a strong defense, but I'll just go with them. Anyway, those are my picks for Week 4 and GetWittedSports Pick'em or Shut Up League. I'm in 7th place. It's time to step it up And if you see this Amazon, mixer thing right here, because they go based on my searches, I'm looking for a mixer because there's a podcast coming real soon at Idiot Sports Talk, so look out for that. If you guys want to talk sports or just talk shit, follow me on Twitter at Idiot Sports Talk. Take care now. Bye-bye then. Stolen from Ace Ventura. Just borrowed. I didn't steal it, so please don't come at me for copyright infringement. Just borrowed.